young kid, very mature, very smart, making all the right moves so far. So, this is going to be a shot in the arm, and I really think, we need some kind of hope at the quarterback position. So, Cam Ward, I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens and hope for the best.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Can you make this a full screen?
And James, you do a lot of art that's gotten you a fair amount of following there on Twitter and on other things. Anything you want to plug there before we head on over to the next pick?
Yeah, so appreciate it. So on X, you can find me at Titan Oilers. And yeah, I do. It's pretty much kind of like word of mouth that people reach out to me. I don't know if you see this canvas back here, but this is something I've done. I kind of did a 4 horsemen thing, and sometimes I'll mostly do digital and some painting and things like that. But I'm just a fan of sports, and actually, I work with different fans of different fan bases and all kinds of teams. So yeah, it's fun, and you can find me at Titan Oilers on X if you ever have any needs.
Oh yeah. Is there any fan base you absolutely refuse to do work for?
Colts.
I love it.
What's happening,
Season. Here's the thing. I do have. So it's hard to hate on certain fan bases, and I'll tell you this.
Good evening to a eventful.
If you do have a friend or somebody that's
mock
kind
draft
to you
1.0
in that world, let's say
we're live. Waiting for our turn here. Number 1 just went. Cam Ward just went overall. We kind of all knew that was going to happen. Stick with us here. We're trying to figure out both ways to stream. But as you can hear in the background, the Tennessee Titans representative, I should say, is backing up the pick and kind of plugging their things. So once they are done,
we can.
Well, I appreciate it. All right, thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, James.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
All right. And with that, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
Cleveland's on the clock at the moment.
All right, guys. So I was really hoping that Cam Ward would fall to me here, but when he started talking about Will Levis,
I don't know if y'all can hear what's going on, but if you can hear it on the Twitter stream, we're just jumping in when the Patriots pick, and then they're kicking us out. And Travis Hunter just went number 2.
Hell yeah.
Is the dual threat weapon. He was, famously quoted this week saying he will quit the game of football if he's not allowed to play on both sides of the ball. Being the GM of the Browns, he just drafted Travis Hunter. Is this just free reign? Let him go out there, be a cornerback, be a wide receiver? What are your thoughts?
Stick with us. We're just waiting for 4. We're 1 pick away.
GM of the Browns, Andrew Berry, talked
Cam
about
Ward
this presser on Thursday.
and Travis Hunter.
I think it's hard to limit a player that we've never seen someone like play the full complement of snaps on both sides of the football.
We can do that.
And I think it's a little
Number
irresponsible
2
to go out and try to
overall.
limit him to, maybe he's not going to play that full complement of snaps at the next level, but I think allowing him to play on both sides of the football is realistic.
We are going. They are going to.
I also agree.
Cleveland.
I think his best position to kind of start out with in terms of a full complement of
Sorry,
snaps.
Trav. You're getting buried in Cleveland.
Hunter's a ball hawk. And
So the New York Giants are on the clock now.
As much as possible versus on the defensive
Hell
side
yeah.
of the football.
After a chaotic start, ladies and gentlemen.
Facts. If we had a overhead cam of how this came to be in the last 45 minutes,
Even
it would
the
actually be
last
comedy.
5 minutes.
It would actually be pure comedy, and I would love to watch it back because it would be fucking hilarious. It would be pure fucking hilarious. But yeah, so if y'all are in here and you want to hear us, see us on the show, log into their Twitter account and just hold on. We're 1 pick away. The Browns are wrapping up their pick, and we'll be rolling in 1. The Giants are going to be on the clock pretty soon.
Game 1. Who's the starting quarterback for the Browns?
Ooh,
I mean, the people would revolt if it's not Joe Flacco, right?
I think I'm talking next year, 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry, 26.
Do you want to pull that?
Is he not in the NFL currently?
For when we're on the
I
clock?
don't think he's currently in the NFL, no.
Okay.
And I also...
Just so
I
that
don't know if they're going to want to
see
do
us.
this on draft night, but I think there might be some smoke there behind trying to trade back up and get to Sanders, too.
Sure, I get that. Okay.
So we'll see.
It's kind of like set back.
Oh, yeah.
Just
curiosity, how difficult was this pick to go with?
Stick with us, y'all.
With him and Carter right there, right?
Almost
so
there.
Kind of talk me through that. Pairing up Abdul
yeah.
Carter with Miles Garrett to me just seems like unstoppable. So I'm curious from your end.
All right, there. So
How was that decision for you?
Early on in the process.
Salute. Happy Saturday. Happy Easter weekend, y'all.
Going back a couple months. I was firmly on Team Carter.
This is
Part of that was due to the trade requests from Miles. It just kind of felt like a natural. We're going to have to find another pass rusher here. By the way, he was flirting with Philly media there on Radio Row, the Super Bowl. So that's, you can dream. But I think now that he's back and under contract, that the positional need isn't quite as strong as it might have been a couple months ago.
gotta get that going.
I think that Jim Schwartz's scheme is designed to allow the defensive line to find success pass rushing and getting after the quarterback.
We're going.
Not that we can, ignore the other spots in the defensive line outside of Miles.
There's gonna be some people out there that may or may not like this.
That's all right.
But you know what?
Carter and Garrett.
It's 1.0 too.
Duo.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Real one.
Zero trades with this.
This is just falling 1 to 32.
Consistent quarterback play, but they haven't taken a premier position player on the offensive side of the football in the first 2 rounds since Nick Chubb in 2018. So it's been, it's past time.
Unfortunately, Travis Hunter is a corner.
They can put on that side of the ball,
whether he likes it or not.
Their thought process lies in having
Whether he thinks it or not.
First and corner second. I just think they need to spark that side of the football.
Completely understood. Yeah, makes sense.
It's finally dry.
Was there anything you wanna talk about before we head on over to New York for the pick?
You can give us a follow over at Sleeper Browns. We've had the account going for about a month now. Tons of great people have interacted with so far. Kind of new to the social media space a little bit, and it's been fun interacting, and can't wait to do some more stuff like this in the future too.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we really appreciate you hopping on and helping us out with the second overall selection here.
Yeah, anytime.
Love what you guys are doing over there at Sleeper, man.
Yeah, we love it too.
Oh yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 2 picks down, 30 to go.
Even with the stats, by the way, the rest of the GMs have your work cut out for you because we got some 32nd ranked in this, 28th ranked in this. Jim Schwartz's defense has this style.
Fuck off.
If we're talking GMs, we mean GMs.
I don't need stats. The Patriots blew dick.
No, exactly.
We can say it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're heading over
We can,
to
right?
a longtime podcaster, new to
I
the
will.
Giant podcast, Talkin. He was able to hop on. We're able to have him here. We're heading over to Ryan in New Jersey, New York. I'll let
Here we
the
go.
actual fan base decide where their allegiance lies. But Ryan, the New York
Okay,
Giants are
we
on
got the
clock.
number 3 pick, getting ready to go to New York.
We shake up the
The
world.
draft is going exactly how I expect it to go. I would have loved Cam Ward, but Drew Lock had to win that game in Week 17 against the Colts.
Joe Milton.
But
We got
so the
some
pick here is kind of obvious. If Travis Hunter goes to the Browns, we get first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New York Giants select Abdul Carter out of Penn State. Not much, you're adding to this already good defensive line, and we see it with your team who just won the Super Bowl, the Eagles. They're always adding to the defense, especially the line.
Wait,
So
who won the Super Bowl?
the Eagles.
Oh,
Adding to the defensive line. If you look at the Giants' past Super Bowls, their defensive line. I wasn't
Are you
around to see
confident
much, but
in this?
their
We both said we're
defensive
going to
line
do
was
it.
what led
Right.
themselves.
the Cowboys.
Yeah. But for the defensive line,
And
it
you
just
have
adds to it. And with Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland in the secondary now, a good defense can keep you in any game. And I just don't think Shador Sanders is the move here. So that's why I went with Abdul.
Ryan, let me ask you, does this open the door for a Kayvon Thibodeau trade potential with Abdul coming in?
I think it could. Kayvon Thibodeau, though, obviously he hasn't been what we expected him to be. Drafted him at pick 5. But if you have him there, you could rotate this defensive line a lot where you don't have to play Carter and Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, on first and second down. You could kind of rotate them, and then on third down, bring everybody in there and you're going to have a tough defense to stop.
162. Just
The one thing I am
Georgia
concerned about is his injuries,
149, Arizona 42940. Stretch the field, speed, ball tracker,
He's just such a freak athlete that he's hard to
prolific,
pass up on.
down,
Yeah, Coach, I'm going to steal your line here. With a lot of those
vertical.
concerns with his injuries, I don't think
Is
he should be
40
touched by
inches
anyone in the
at
first 31
5'11".
picks.
No, I mean, I
Dude,
31 picks.
Dude,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll drop maybe to
Now we
pick
got
32 before I consider taking them.
Agreed.
Just
I don't know how
all you got to do
but
is
I saw
mention
something
Diggs,
that
who
Philly
was on the
did
verge of
at
getting
quarterback
1,000
for
yards.
the
That's what I'm
Patriots.
saying.
They were thinking
You don't
about
got to
it.
do
AJ
Hollins or
Brown for him?
No.
No, the Philadelphia media is famous for just stirring shit all the time. We have a 3-letter radio station here that just dies on making up the most absolute nonsense, trying to get people pissed off.
AJ Brown pissed off.
They're just trying to piss off AJ Brown. For
Piss him
whatever
off.
reason, we have no idea why. It's not us. It's these clowns over on the radio.
Piss
AJ Brown
him
is
off.
going absolutely nowhere.
You never
His
know.
dead cap is like 20 mil, isn't it? Like, there's just not a shot. Or, okay, yeah, so even higher than that.
A trade that I did see, our buddy Anthony DeBona, great follow obviously for Eagles, but really for all things NFL, proposed a trade of Dallas Goedert and Philadelphia's 3rd-round pick for Kayvon Thibodeau and the Giants' 4th-round pick. I personally am a big Goddard guy. I'm not doing it because I really also don't like Kayvon Thibodeau. But you being a Giants fan, that offer is... You're the GM right now. That
Thibodeau
offer is
sucks.
called into you. What are you doing?
No doubt. I'm accepting
Thibodeau
that.
is
He's
dog
never
shit.
gonna be, 'cause one,
I would
you
never
might
get
as well trade
an
Dallas
edge
Goedert
rusher from
within
Oregon.
the division, maybe even within the NFC.
They're 0-2 right
I just
now.
don't see it happening. But, I mean... if
But
you're
they
going
are
for that trade, I'm
lottery
accepting
picks
it, 'cause we need,
in the
like we need
NBA
Theo
world.
Johnson, but we don't have an elite tight end in Dallas Goedert. He gives a weapon to the offense, and now we have Abdul Carter. The loss of Kayvon Thibodeau wouldn't really hurt that much.
That's what I think about that.
With the whole Saquon situation, if the Giants even pick up the phone when they see Howie Collin, like if that's even...
Yeah, I mean, this was
30th
really
in
rude of us,
scoring
Ryan. I just
offense
want
is
to thank you
17
for
points
Saquon
a game.
Barkley. We didn't really touch on that, and I want to take this opportunity.
They're
to
bottom
thank
30.
the organization.
And
And
I wasn't
as
the
GM,
Patriots.
I wasn't the GM who traded.
You're bottom
let go
30,
you
you're
guys,
bottom
so
30.
I
You're
was
fucking
just
crazy.
hired.
Everything.
Newly hired.
We,
30 or
we
below.
obviously we would have won Abdul Carter
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
because we're the shittiest team in all of football.
Well, Ryan, is there anything you want to plug before we head on over
here we
to
go.
New England?
Y'all, we're up
So
And
you can follow me on Twitter, Ryan
just
Henderson 08.
the next 30 seconds, so
Gang shit.
And I
Let's
just
go,
posted
baby.
the first episode of my
about to rock.
new Giants podcast, Ryan's Big Blue Podcast. You can go
Fly
to
like
YouTube,
Elvis,
Spotify,
baby.
watch that. I'm going to be posting a lot.
Trademark coming
check
soon.
it out.
Trademark
And,
and
I love the name, but I always thought that was what they said
Pick
after
drop
the
coming
Eagles
soon.
played the Giants because everybody was just Big Blue.
people are gonna
Just,
ship
Blue
it.
being sad,
5'11",
just Big Blue.
191.
So I love
Good. Let's take the room.
love
Let's
the
make
use
it
of
interesting.
No, look, I wanted to say right before we went over to New England, when the Birds are playing the Giants,
He has an
I mean, we
82
needed
draft
to
grade.
either win one of our
So it's a
remaining
B.
games or have like one of two teams
Athleticism
lose to be
score
locked
of
in the number 2
87.
overall
Get
seed.
rid of Abdul
And
Carter.
I was kind of campaigning like, look, second half, absolutely tank that game.
We don't
and it gives the Giants
feel
like the 10th
like
overall pick and absolutely screws them.
the
I
fact
was
that
advocating
I feel
for
like
it.
screwing
you
Drake.
rarely
Campbell
ever try to root for your team to lose, but it was kind
could
of
potentially
it
be a
doesn't hurt
guard
you anyway,
is
and it
worth a
definitely hurts your
4th round
competitors.
pick.
So,
I mean, excuse me, 4th overall.
But no, we're looking forward to having you hop on twice, probably this upcoming season, to do a little Eagles Giants
on,
preview.
hey.
And who knows, maybe we'll have that a couple years ago where we faced you guys 3 times.
Did it for
Third time in the playoffs. So we'd love that because we love a bye essentially heading into the next round.
We're going on this season.
They know how to shit talk. This is good.
I love it.
I really appreciate it, man.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right, 3 picks in. Obviously, draft's kind of going as expected. This is kind of where it starts getting a little bit more fun. Usually, it's always the first 5 picks.
Hell yeah.
Always
Hell yeah.
go pretty typical. But we're gonna head over to our guys at What's Up Guys podcast over in New England to make the Patriots pick. New England Patriots.
Yes, sir. What's going on, fellas? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, brother. Nothing much. Appreciate you guys for allowing us the opportunity.
Thank you for having us on for
Appreciate
sure.
you guys hopping on.
Great way to spend Saturday night. But yeah, we obviously, like everybody has said so far, it's kind of gone as we all think. And And you want to just roll with it and hit it?
So I think it was kind of funny that you kind of opened up with, saying how this is where shit gets to shake up. So I think that's probably where we're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
go ahead.
I will say, due to the live how everything has transpired thus far, obviously it would be tremendous to have Abdul Carter as a New England Patriot, but
that didn't happen.
With a top 3 prospect and having the 4th pick, and with a terrible Week 18 win,
awful win
with
awful
against
win.
the Buffalo Bills that changed everything. So shaking the room and shaking the board with the 4th overall pick, the New England Patriots will select Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of
Texas,
the University of Texas.
I'm going to have to search for him.
Go ahead, sir.
You can.
Rightfully
you
so.
can.
First off, let me ask, if you would have lost Week 18, where would you guys have landed?
As in far
number
as
one, number one.
As players?
Number 1 overall.
Yeah.
It would have been 1?
It would have been
number
1. Yes.
And then if it was 1, are you going Hunter or Carter there, if that was the scenario?
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
The way the draft went, the way everything kind of went uniform, it's great to, like we've mentioned before, it's great to have Will Campbell was there. We understand that. But there's obviously talks that he might be a guard. But the 4th overall pick to pick a guard, it's kind of Belichick-y. And we're done with the Belichick era. We're moving on to bigger and better things. And obviously everybody has seen what Drake May can do last year. He's our guy. Put up incredible stats for a rookie in 13 games.
Yeah.
2,200 yards passing, and he can run. 15 TDs passing, and get him a weapon. We know Diggs is on the Pats now, but to get this kid, it would be incredible to have.
It's obviously uniform, to if we did have the number 1 overall pick, obviously Abdul Carter would have been. And obviously this is just, we're going uniform, right? We're going based off of just straight picks. In a perfect world, we would have had, we would have gotten the number 1 left tackle in free agency. We would have gotten the number 1 wide receiver in free agency, especially having the most cap space in the offseason. But that just wasn't the route that Vrabel was going to go.
And we're happy with Vrabel as head coach. We love him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that with everything that transpired as far as the offseason being defense heavy, I think that the draft will move and traject towards offense, obviously, with McDaniels as the coming back for his 3rd tenure as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Drake May needs a guy that's going to not only get the ball to, but grow with, learn with, and I mean, if we are all football fans, as I assume that we all are, and watch the college football playoff, there was talks of Tet at number 4 with the Patriots,
and he's fallen off. It seems
he's fallen off. There's rumors about him not even watching film. There's just a lot of questions with why he is dropping. You got a guy that's running a 4.2, 5'11", 40-inch vert, stretches the field, has questions with Yak, but he makes big plays down the field.
Put up about basically 150 in the. He put up 162 against Georgia in the SEC championship. He put up 149 against Arizona State. I get it that those are, college defenses, but this kid looks like he could be a steal. And we want to help Drake as much as we can with New England.
We definitely feel comfortable with taking a wide receiver at number 4 over a left tackle that is could be a guard at number 4. So that is the only reason why. this isn't our number one move.
No.
Obviously. But with the way that the draft has transpired thus far, that is
and
our...
if Carter was there, if he fell to 4, it would have been Carter. But the fact that it went uniform, this is why we went off the grid and we took Golden.
And obviously we want to shake the room a little bit.
Just a little bit. Have some fun with it.
The room is shaking up.
Good.
For the first probably want to trade back a little bit. And
That's
correct. That's the goal.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The goal is to get Golden later on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in this scenario, with you guys being the GM, if you have convictions behind your guy, go get him. I love it. I love shaking this thing up, boys.
Yep.
I really like that.
Yep.
I love the pick, but I like your thought process.
Yeah, if we, like you said, perfect world. Our ideal thing is to trade back if Carter's not there on Thursday night too. Stack picks and get Golden, a little bit later in the first round. But
hey, maybe we trade the number 4 pick for AJ Brown. Who knows?
We had to say it. We had to drop it.
You guys drafting Golden is more realistic than you guys trading for AJ.
So you think?
You never know.
Listen, I thought Tom Brady would have 10 rings today.
Yeah.
As long as you tell that fan base to calm down a little bit on the AJ Brown stuff.
Hey, listen, AJ Brown is going on social media and dropping Patriots. Listen, it's not the fan base now. You got to DM AJ yourself.
His contract, he's untradeable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it ain't unfortunate.
I was gonna say you guys want him.
For them, it's unfortunate.
He's also Jalen Hurts' best friend, and Hurts is the godfather to his daughter. It's just we're good over it.
Absolutely, I would be good too. I would be good too.
Facts.
Trust me.
Let the rest of the GMs and us know where we can find you guys online. If you want to shout anything out as well.
Yeah, for sure. On Instagram, Twitter. Well, our Twitter isn't really up to date right now, but definitely Instagram and YouTube. What's Up Guy Pod. We're 2 Boston-born dudes just trying to, make sports our career. And we're also...
With your accent.
Can you tell? You can't tell, right?
No.
We're also members of Team Drake May for the Best Buddies Challenge, and all that information is on our website too, or our page. To donate to that cause, it's for people with learning disabilities, and Drake May is the kind of the foreman for it. It's what Tom Brady used to do, and Drake kind of took it over. So we joined the team, and we're going to be doing the 5K in a month now with Drake. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Really appreciate you guys hopping on for what you guys are doing there with that.
For sure.
That's awesome. Let us know if there's any way that we can help promote that or anything.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Other than AJ Brown.
Let's leave AJ Brown alone and treat Milton Williams right, guys.
Well, trust me.
Absolutely.
We will take really good care of Milton Williams.
Let's hope he brings the same energy as he did in the Super Bowl, right?
Facts. And hopefully we get a Pats Eagles Super Bowl matchup pretty soon again, part 3, because it's 1-1 right now.
It is. Hey,
so
we got out of that tiebreaker. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Obviously, you guys saw the 4th face of the Talkin 2 and 5 team.
Oh yeah,
Matthew Golden, baby. We shook up the room. Oh, it just kicks us out. No, all right.
Oh, well, can you go to Twitter and watch it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll let you do that.
Nothing's going to pop up. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, motherfuckers is mad.
People are mad. Talking 2:15. Come on, bitch. Open live video.
What their thought process is. So
I get it. So I have to figure it out. I have to figure that out.
You got Cam Ward at 1 to the Titans at 2. You got Travis Hunter to the Browns at 3. You got Abdul Carter to the Giants. And at 4, Matthew Golden. Sean joins the show, and all of a sudden a wrench is thrown into this draft of Matthew Golden.
did not listen. I saw Matthew Golden, and I assumed I had missed the first 20 picks.
Hey, they said they wanted to shake it up, and they shook it up. I thought they were shaking it up by going Genty, but
No, sir.
shaking it up by going Matthew Golden.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can like phone up some of these other GMs and be like, "Hey, man, what do you want for 4?" Like, so I get it.
Yeah.
There's probably
I get it. We don't do trades yet. We're trying to figure out the best way to make that possible. Maybe we do a 7-round mock next year. Who knows? But we're gonna head on over to coaches part of the world.
Hey, listen, if you think that Matthew Golden is a 7th-round pick, then obviously we did something right.
Selection. Sir, how the hell are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Jason, what did you think of that pick right before you? You're the GM of the Jags, and Golden gets on the board. Did they steal him from the Jags?
They did, actually. No, it just throws a wrench because I had someone circled, and Will Campbell kind of is tempting.
So what's your thought process going into this? Because I'm pretty sure, based on obviously me and you knowing each other and we talk draft a lot, I know you probably have your eye on 3 people here maybe, and all are on the board outside of the top 2 guys.
Should I just click the punter button here?
No, it's really just 2 for me. It'd be Mason Graham and Will Campbell. I'm not doing the Genty thing. That's not me. If you see my Twitter, you know I hate RBs, so it's not going to happen.
0 RBs, just lining up 5 wide for Trev.
Oh, I thought you said you hate RBs.
Any grown man that sounds like this.
I think the Eagles did what the future is. Really
Listen to his voice, by the way.
Hey, man.
Pay someone. What is he? 3% of the cap? Like, who cares?
I would love for somebody that talks like that to call me stupid.
I give them credit though; they know their shit.
So what are you doing?
No, of course. I'm talking about the GM of the Jags.
I mean, come on, it's the Jags, dude.
It's Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter sliding to 5 is sprint to the podium, right? Like in that scenario.
Or
so
Matthew
you got to
Golden.
narrow down to Will Campbell or Mason Graham. What's your process here going into making this bet?
So I'm going to pick Mason Graham because sorry. But they haven't had interior pass rush for a while now. They have 2 great edges. They need someone to push the pocket. And
I don't know if Trayvon Walker is a great edge rusher, but he is definitely getting better.
Yeah. But they'll have a little bit more depth. We saw what the Eagles did to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Just keep sending guys at them, get some beef up front, and wreck the passing game, wreck the running game.
Let us know what you think. Obviously, you know we picked Matthew Golden at 4.
If you were to take Will Campbell,
Let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I think left guard, give him a chance to win one of the
let
tackle
us know why.
spots, but I would guess he slides in at left guard first. And then, because Ezra Cleveland has 1 year left, I think, and he's fine, but I would think left guard.
Then we can want to
I don't know if his arms are
talk to
enough.
them
I don't know. It's
a little bit while they're
I'm not
doing
smart
this.
enough to be able to tell if he can play
Kind of
tackle.
like talk to Insta for a little bit.
Well, I'm about to.
Well, we got Mason Graham off the board with the Jags.
This is gonna be a while.
Jay,
That's what I'm
let
saying.
everybody know where they can find you, and then if you want to shout out anything as well, go ahead and shout it out.
Hashtag Wars.
So anybody that's just joining, we have already made the Patriots pick at 4. We took wide receiver Matthew Golden from Texas at 4 for our New England Patriots. And anybody that has an
Fans in the comments.
Check.
Great pick. They're about it.
Can somebody give a thumbs up if you
Yeah,
hear
here's-
us? If you guys
It's a
are
perfect fit for your guys' system. Obviously, there's a lot of holes over there on the team. That's why you're picking 5th. I mean, no complete team is going to be picking that high in the
Yes,
draft.
no,
But it
it's a fit.
fills
All right.
a large
Thanks,
hole.
sir.
Thank you.
guys
Whoever
stick
did
thumbs
that.
and butts and female butts
Defensive line, but Jason,
over
really
on your
appreciate
side.
the time.
And with that said,
Pick for your team.
yeah, so we went with.
Everybody can follow him on that.
Yeah, we can lower it a little bit.
So we still have the draft up.
Appreciate it. C Don 781. You know
Thanks.
that person.
That's my barber. Yeah. Thanks,
Oh,
Chris.
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. And per our
What
talk,
barbershop?
Silvestro's
Silvestro's Barbershop
in Medford.
in Medford,
Kid.
In Medford, Kid.
On,
What street?
on Salem Street, dude.
Salem. Hell yeah. I
mean-
probably drove by it a million
I mean,
times.
my hair is
I
kind
apologize.
of crushed at the moment, but he does phenomenal fucking work.
Oh, you got a nice high fade.
Facts.
I
of
see
course.
you.
That's
Me
my
too.
that's my work.
Me too.
That's Chris's work right here.
It is well.
everybody.
I'm going bald, Chris, soon.
You know, I'm going bald in the back.
I got
so.
I got a little mid fade, but as you can see, everybody, breaking news. I'm probably gonna go maybe 2 more cuts before I go bald. And then I'm probably going to tattoo my bald head.
You're going ink up top, huh?
Oh, for sure.
You're inking the roof?
I'll probably go like midway.
Okay.
And then, who knows. But
you can call you Tattoo Face.
Hey, that's why you're a barber, right?
Facts.
You change it. You switch lanes.
He's a barber and he knows his shit. He doesn't talk out of his ass. That's another good thing. And he's Celtics season ticket holder too.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, listen,
he's one of the good ones, man. Chris, you're one of the good ones.
Shout out to Chris.
But yeah, again, and per our conversation yesterday, Chris, we went off the grid. First 3 picks was Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell was there, but
Mason Graham was
there. Ashton Genty, for some reason, people thinking he'll link to the Patriots, but he's there.
We went ranked player in the draft.
We went with
5'8"
need on this team, which is wide receiver. Even with Stephon Diggs, it's literally, when you look at it, it's Stephon Diggs and who.
Even though Ramondre Stevenson is dog shit.
This is such a deep running back.
Yes, that's what I want to address. That's like, I feel like that needs to be addressed, because obviously we are a part of a mock draft that is no trades. It's just straight through.
It's straight picking at 4.
So obviously we're not going to take a left tackle that is probably more than likely going to be
kicked inside to a guard. We're not going to pick a number 4 overall pick. There have been wide receivers that have been taken number 1 overall. We have a little bit of backlash from this group that is on this live chat. If you want to hop on Twitter right now, it's Talkin 215 at on Twitter, or X rather. If you want to follow along. But we shook the room a little bit. Obviously, trajecting towards the future of the Patriots. Obviously, we're working towards a rebuild. I think that the addition of a 30-year-old wide receiver who's coming off an ACL injury with Stephon Diggs obviously is a step up to what we have. We have no idea what Jalen Polk is going to be, even though we traded back and let up the opportunity to draft Ladd McConkey there. And then also a 4th round under the arm of your brand new head coach for some reason, Javon Walker, 4th round pick wide receiver. We drafted. We acquired Collins from Buffalo, who's the Earth Country guy. I'm very happy with that move. I can't really dispute that in any way, shape, or form. He made very big plays for Josh Allen, who obviously on the Buffalo Bills, that was the main issue with the Buffalo Bills coming into the season. Their wide receiver position. They pretty much shut everybody up in being one of the better teams in the NFL, in the AFC, and let alone the NFL. Obviously lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, which turns into another rule change because of that controversy of that game. But we are in the same division. The Bills will probably have the same trajectory. Miami is dog shit. Obviously, the Patriots are obviously dog shit. Let me preface that first. We were. But obviously with this offseason, and the Jets are the Jets, right? So, dog shit. So, let's call a spade a spade. The Patriots, and this is something that I've spoken on, I've said to Mike multiple times over the course of these episodes. I firmly believe that the Patriots will be upwards of 10 wins this year, being so that they have the third easiest schedule thus far, just based off of opponents. The schedule hasn't come to fruition yet, and how it's organized. Obviously.
But based off of today, so obviously that means that we're going to have either 1, 2, or 3 when it comes to easiest schedule. So that means that if we end up in the Super Bowl, we'll probably end up with the 31st or the back end of the draft. Yeah. We're not obviously going to the Super Bowl. This is a rebuild. Don't take this and run with it.
Never know.
But that is the mindset that me and my co-host have. We understand the need of a left tackle, but we understand that we're not going to take a left tackle that could probably be pushed to guard. So we need a position of need that is going to make an immediate impact immediately. And if you are a football fan, if you're a college football fan and you watch Matthew Golden, we have a 5'11" wide receiver who jumps 40.5 inches and runs a 4.240. Tet was always projected number 4 overall to the Patriots. 6'4", 250. Comparisons to
he's dropped. However,
comparisons to Mike Evans, no.
So real quick for TJ, I don't know if you were on that just joined. If you were on the live stream, he was sending me yesterday, kind of like, who do you think? Blah blah blah. We picked Matthew Golden at number 4 from Texas. So.
Who got taken?
Membu. This kid sounds like he's 12.
No, I'm pretty sure he is. Oh, Vegas took Genti, and the Jets took Membu. Offensive tackle?
Yes.
Out of Missouri. I can't see because it's so small. I'm sorry.
So the draft is still going on. We were let in to make our pick, and then we were booted out. So we're still following it,
and obviously
we're trying to do like both here, trying to see what's going on.
I am so sorry to cut you off, but let's see. We have a left tackle going number 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8, 9.
Oh no, 8, 9. Okay. The first left tackle that was taken off the board was not Will Campbell. Membu went to the New York Jets, which is exactly why we feel as though our pick is legitimate and solidified. We not only
tell us otherwise.
We not only did we take care of a position of need, but we also didn't rush and make everything according to Will Campbell. Will Campbell is a phenomenal football player. His statistics in the SEC, which is now not the best.
Big Ten.
It's not the best conference in football. Although the University of Tennessee had the projected number or top 3 overall pick in Pierce as an edge rusher. We're talking about Javon Walker, who is a University of Georgia Bulldog. My heart and soul. I got rid of everything. I would have made a cameo. But just because we're Patriots right now. But go Dogs, you already know. But there is obviously a legitimate reason as to why the Patriots, us, went in this Talkin 215 on X and took Matthew Golden, a 5'11", 4'2", 40-inch vertical wide receiver, to go and to learn and grow with
Josh,
with Josh and obviously Drake May.
But you also have to understand that, and we're going to say it over and over again because this is how we're going to validate it. Not that it needs validation; it was our pick. So if you don't like it, fuck off. But this is just a straight draft. So there's no trades. There's no trades.
Absolutely.
Within the draft, there's no player trades because as the guys on 215, if you joined in, we're poo-pooing the A.J. Brown trade. But who knows, man? Like nobody. Vrabel and A.J. Brown have a really good connection.
There is no trade clause in the NFL.
Do I see it happening? No.
There is no trade clause in the NFL.
You just don't know. So you could have A.J. Brown by the end of the night on Thursday. You could have Golden. But either way, having Golden as your 4th pick or you trade. In a perfect world, you trade back. You go down to like 9 or 10, and you pick Golden down there.
Absolutely.
But even if it doesn't happen, and they do somehow, some way, they pick Golden at 4. It's not like you picked a position. It's not like it's not a Cole Strange pick.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's a position of very, very dire need.
We are far removed. We are now 2 years. We are now 2 off seasons removed from Bill Belichick. So let's take that into account, right? We're 2 off seasons removed from Bill Belichick, which is very important because we have went 2 decades without gang shit shouting us out already.
We took somebody's
and we're still top 10 because Will Campbell still hasn't been taken yet. We're getting a little shout out, but. And this is, you can go live. We're not bullshitting. We're not capping. So
who's picked him?
No, I believe he's saying that this individual left tackle that was taken wasn't taken by.
Well, he said we took somebody's pick.
Oh, possibly. I wasn't paying attention because I'm talking to y'all.
So apparently we took
the Jets. Either we took Matthew Golden from the Jets, or we made the Jets. We put the Jets on the hot seat because they wanted to figure out which left tackle they wanted to take. Right. So obviously they didn't take Will Campbell. Will Campbell in this mock draft is still on the board, and we're moving towards top 10. So we're talking about a left tackle. And let me say this. If you are a left tackle in the NFL draft and you do not go top 10, you are not a generational pick. Your play has to showcase that you are legitimately, let me just say this. If you're a left tackle and you're picked after the top 10, you are more than likely, and you succeed,
right?
You're more than likely going to be a Hall of Fame offensive lineman. Based, obviously, because NFL Hall of Fame is based off of your pro career. It's not like NBA where it's your entire career. We're talking about grown men. And now you're taking into account NIL, all of these people opting out of contracts, entering the portal, entering the fall portal, entering the spring portal. So there's a lot of things at stake here now in this new transition of football, right? So that's also another reason. Matthew Golden is a junior. He has been with the same program for 3 years. And he's put not only on tape, but at the combine. In his pro day, he has solidified himself as a legitimate, on paper, in a weak draft, mind you, with no trades in this mock draft, mind you, a top 10, worthy to be a top 10 pick. So, again, this is not, we all know that Matthew Golden is not a top 5 pick.
No.
Let's be real. We know that. But with a pick, with a mock draft that this is 1.0.
No
that's the name of this episode. 1.0. This is 0 trades, which is what we got. Analysts and writers that are like 3.0, 4.0 deep, and we're 6 days away from the draft. So this is just us being different, us being real, us going against the grain.
And addressing a need for the Patriots. And it's been a need that the Patriots have had ever since
we traded Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, but not even that. Like, even before then. Like, I don't even think you can put Jacoby Myers in that category.
Absolutely we can. Because you get rid of Jacoby Myers and you acquire Juju Smith-Schuster. That is where it...
I'm saying even with Jacoby Myers as your receiver when Mac Jones was here, you needed more.
Well,
we all needed more.
I think that by that time, we already knew that Mac Jones wasn't the answer. And that is not any shade to Mac Jones. He got thrown into the fire. I am a firm believer that Mac Jones was thrown into the fire. He was drafted prematurely. But without Mac Jones, the Patriots would not have acquired Drake May. Because now, this draft, without Drake May, let's say we picked up the 5th year for Mac Jones, or acquired Mac Jones for that matter.
Yeah.
We would be in a place where we would be like every other team that is always in the top 5 picks, or top 10 for that matter, trading assets for putting a quarterback that is atop the draft, regardless of how it ranks, regardless of how good the draft is, to legitimately put yourself at a disadvantage for putting a quarterback that deserves the best and put him in a shitty position.
Yeah.
The Patriots are doing something very different that a lot of people really aren't talking about. We've spoken about this on the show a lot of times. And this is probably one of the reasons why I hope that we make it most, and it's only up to you guys. Drake May is here. The rebuild is coming to fruition with the franchise quarterback already obtained.
Right.
Granted, 11 games, 2,200 yards, 500 rushing yards, 15 passing touchdowns, about 4 rushing touchdowns, 10 or so, 10, 11 turnovers.
10 picks.
But
here's the most important stat for Drake May last year. Okay? And and now with this stat, you could also argue with us to have taken Campbell. But honestly, I think this is obviously a disadvantage of his offensive line, and because Drake had nobody to throw to. Drake May was sacked in 13 games, mind you, so not a full season. In 13 games played, I almost said Mac Jones. Drake May was sacked 34 times.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? 34 times Drake May was put on his ass. Officially. Because it was obviously hit more than that. In 13 games, you get sacked 34 times. That's inexcusable. That's disgusting. You're not winning dick with that. So the fact that you got Drake, Stephon Diggs now as a target, and with our draft, you got a Matthew Golden, you have 2 preliminary targets there. Now, we get it. The offensive line still needs to be worked on, but they will, because there's other pieces in this draft that you can add to it. There's also, nobody's really touched on this yet, and we can, and we'll do it in our next draft show too, our final draft show before the actual draft.
2.0, of course.
There's a guy out there that's not happy, and Colton Miller, for the Raiders, a left tackle. You can potentially move some shit and get him. So now if you get Colton Miller, oh, there you go. All you had to do is zoom in. If you get Colton Miller somehow, somewhere in a trade, and you get him as your left tackle, then there you go. And that's to the Raiders, mind you. So, if the Raiders really want to move up to 4...
The Raiders are at 6. And in this draft right now, they took Ashton Genty. They took a running back.
Which I don't think they would...
I don't think that
they would do that. So, if you can package something to the Raiders and get Colton Miller and the 6,
and then you move only 2 spaces back,
and you can
not only acquiring more assets. Now, who knows? Is it a next year's first? Is it a pick swap and a third? Is it a pick swap and a fourth and next year's first? Obviously, this is very vanilla.
It's been uniform.
Yeah.
Everything has been uniform but our pick.
But regardless of the fact, we had the number 4 pick. Will Campbell didn't go, but the first offensive tackle was taken at number 7, and Membo to the Jets, and then McMillan has been taken to the Carolina Panthers at number 8 overall. And I think that what we have done, it has been a legitimate move, because I believe wholeheartedly that 2 picks from now, it's the Saints and the Bears. I would assume that at least the Bears would obtain Will Campbell.
You would that was the obvious.
I think that's why we shook the room a little bit, just to see how exactly Thursday will go.
And it's not like we did. So even with Golden going 4, we took Golden at 4.
They didn't even take.
It's not.
Will Campbell is still on the board.
It's not a shake. It's not a real big shake. It's not like we took somebody that nobody knew.
It's not like I did this.
No, it was not a 5.0. It was about a maybe a 1.
One or
1.5. It really isn't a shake, because you think about it. We had to pick at 4. The ultimate goal is to trade back to get Golden and acquire assets.
Absolutely.
That
for
is
a
our
rebuild.
goal.
For a proper rebuild.
We both love Golden. It took some convincing, I'll admit, from my guy DC here to pick Golden tonight. But his stats don't lie. And again, we're doing this with the thought of trading back. We're not picking Matthew Golden at the actual number 4 pick. We're picking him at 9, wherever, 12, somewhere around there. But we're acquiring assets, and we're trying to build this team as efficiently and as quickly as possible. Because honestly, with the way the Patriots are stacked right now, stacked as in how they're lined up. I'm not saying that they're a stacked team.
Probably Will Campbell for me. I don't think they quite go Shedeur Sanders, even though they are in need of a quarterback.
Oh, there's the Patriots. Just with the way that the Patriots are modeled right now, I don't think it's crazy to say that they want to be in the divisional round.
Just to give context, Will Campbell, Shedeur Sanders, and Tyler Warren, a left tackle, a quarterback, and a tight end are the top 3 best available for the number 9 overall pick, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's the Carolina Panthers. No, it's the...
And that's the New Orleans
Saints. Excuse me. Panthers just picked.
And obviously, Will Campbell has been projected to fall to the New England Patriots. Ted McMillan has been projected to be number 4 overall as a wide receiver to the New England Patriots. So I believe wholeheartedly, based off of what is transpiring today on a live mock draft, live between y'all, live on Twitter right now at Talkin 215, TALKIN, number 2, number 1, number 5. I believe wholeheartedly that what we have done is something that the New England Patriots should try to do if there isn't a trade partner that is making Vrabel be like, okay. Personally, I don't think that we should trade unless a next year's first is available. So they're even having a debate on to whether there's nobody to represent the Saints in this draft. So the hosts of this show have taken Shedeur Sanders at number 9. So that is a number 9. We're one pick away
from the top 10.
From the top 10, which Tet went 8, and Will Campbell is still on the board. So I feel very confident in our pick at number 4 with Matthew Golden, wide receiver. Number 2 at the University of Texas. I think we very much shook up the room. I think that this is probably something that's probably going to make us a little bit more popular.
Good.
In the entire nation. Good. Hopefully the entire world.
Hopefully somebody gets whiff of this and was just
for sure.
These dudes pick Matthew Golden
for sure. Why not, right? Because it obviously, and again, if you watch our episode, obviously we would love to acquire Matthew Golden later while acquiring assets.
That's the dream.
That's the truth. We would love to obtain Golden later, but this is just a straight
right.
And I'm not willing to take Will Campbell at number 4, who may be a guard. It's not like he came into the draft and he was the left tackle for the Chargers.
Right.
Or he was Quentin Nelson, who was a guard. Quentin Nelson is a guard. Who was also acquired for Andrew Luck, who unfortunately retired early. Like, we are football fans.
I'd like to think.
Like the shit that I'm telling you is not because I'm telling you this because I know it. Quentin Nelson was a guard who was a top 10 pick, top 5, if I'm not mistaken. Top 10. I'll say top 10 because I'm not trying to lie to nobody. I'm not trying to lie. Quentin Nelson was a top 10 pick and was acquired as a guard. Quentin Nelson was a dog at Notre Dame. A dog. Didn't
pick 6.
He was number 6, so top 8, top 7. Where did the left tackle for the Chargers go? He's also Alt.
Joe Alt.
Also from the University of Notre Dame.
He went right after Drake, didn't he? No,
before.
No, Drake. Harrison went after Drake. I think it was 5. Joe
Alt is but he's also an offensive lineman from the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Notre Dame knows how to fucking produce linemen, right? So we're talking about a left tackle and a guard, right? So Quentin Nelson went as a guard how many years before Joe Alt? Let's say 4 or 5 seasons, give or take. Give my guy some time to figure that out. But Joe Alt as a guard went top 6. Joe Alt as a left tackle went number 6.
He went 6, and it was in 2018.
2018, right? So we're pushing.
6
I mean, he's a dog. Anybody knows who Quentin Nelson is. He's a dog. He's a white boy named Quentin.
Quentin with an O.
Quentin with an O.
Quinton Nelson.
Come on.
From the University
we know.
of Notre Dame.
We already know what time it is.
But even so, my biggest question is, and I want to address this again too on our draft show this week, which stay tuned for all that.
Shut up, Danny, my dog.
To anybody out there, everybody that's in here right now, if you want to answer to anybody that watches this, please chime in with your response to this question too.
Tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State went to Chicago.
Will Campbell in this mock draft has fallen out of the top 10.
I'm dumb. I'm stupid. He's stupid. We're dumb.
Regardless, it kind of goes to this too. Answer this question for me. Everybody out there right now, people that watch this later on. Why do the Patriots need to take a tackle in this? 1, why do they need to take a tackle in this draft? 2, why do they need to take a tackle at number 4? Why? Why do they need to do that? Derek.
Professor, I believe that the Patriots don't need to take a left tackle.
And why don't they need to take a left tackle?
I don't believe that the Patriots took a left tackle this early and need to take a left tackle this early because it's just mathematics. I believe as though there is a very deep offensive line as a whole draft, and I believe that there's a deep offensive tackle position in this draft. So if the Patriots were smart as a franchise, I would assume that they would like to obtain multiple assets to try and I believe from today, from this moment, the Patriots are now equal to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles with 5 top 100 picks, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't know this. I believe with the last trade, we now are tied with the Eagles with top 5 out of the top 100.
But what I'm saying is, right, not to cut you, but like Will Campbell, because you've said it all along, and I've said it multiple times, and pundits have said it, and everybody out there has said it. I don't believe it, but it could. He could be a guard, right? He could be kicked into a guard. That's the possibility. So, with that being said, we know Drake May needs a left tackle. We understand this as Patriots fans, as football fans, as just there's something up here in both of our heads. But if Will Campbell isn't the answer at left tackle, then why are we wasting the pick on Will Campbell to play guard? You still have a left tackle problem. Maybe your left tackle of the future, call me crazy, isn't in this draft. Maybe he's not in this draft. Maybe because we have, again, I think people think that this is the last football season we're ever going to have. And, I mean, we don't know. It might be. We all might be fucking toast at the end of the season. World might be ending. But I'm banking on the 2026 Patriots having a season.
Well, let me just cut you off briefly by stating that you answered your own question. Why don't the Patriots draft Will Campbell at number 4? Why? Because we are legitimately doing a live mock draft right now with the hosts of this are I understand. We're the Patriots, right? The greatest franchise in all of the NFL. Mm-hmm. Haven't been in the last 5 seasons, but we are under Talkin 215 at Talkin 215 on Twitter or X for those who are whatever.
It's Twitter. We're gonna get a whole lot more if you start doing that.
These are Philadelphia Eagles. We are under the hosts of this are Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, they're Philly.
Nothing more need be said, right? We are at pick 11. He asked just very briefly ago, why, as the New England Patriots, wouldn't you take Will Campbell? Sir, we are at pick 11, and Will Campbell hasn't been taken yet. No. So I think he answered his own question. For those that are still watching, for those that care, for those that are interested, for those that have a legitimate sense of where they want Flying Elvis to go. It's just that simple.
It's a simple question. Like, why do we have to? We don't.
Simple answer.
Idiots.
Sir?
Idiots and rockheads.
Simple answer, sir.
Dickheads out there, morons. People that think you know everything. And again, I don't know everything and he doesn't know everything. But we're thinking logically. Why do we need to pick the left tackle of the future this year? He might not be there. It might be in next year's draft. So you pick a filler that can do the job this year at left tackle, that can keep Drake from getting killed, and then you pick your future left tackle next year. Drake's not going anywhere. Drake is here for the duration of however long his career is, as long as they set him up right. You don't need to pick the tackle. You don't need to pick the tackle this year. It doesn't have to happen. No. And for us going outside the box and taking Matthew Golden at 4 shows that it's fun, like that pick is solidified because it gives Drake May another target and another solidified target. It's Stephon Diggs and Matthew Golden now for Draco. And listen, you can still get receivers in the draft too. I understand this.
Absolutely.
But that is one of the dogs in this draft.
For sure. That you have to acquire early.
That is one of the guys that is going to take Drake. Draft. Drake is here. It's going to take Drake up here now. Because we all know that the sophomore season is one of the most critical. We know that Mac Jones was fucked in his sophomore season, and that's what screwed him ultimately.
I will say this. This deads the entire conversation, and this is the last that I will speak on this matter, because honestly, there's really no point to touch on this because the player is no longer a New England Patriot. Everybody that had the hopes and dreams for whatever reason for Bazooka Joe to be a New England Patriot and finish his career.
I knew that.
I know. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if you feel as though there were a lot of people that were like, oh, Brady was a 6th round pick. Bazooka Joe was a 6th round pick.
We're comparing Tom Brady now to fucking
So there's not, and this is absolutely no disrespect, no shade to Bazooka Joe. I wish him the best. But in reality, we cannot do that. This is the problem with sports today. The battle between recency bias and recency relevance. That is the problem. People want instant gratification. Mm-hmm. And if there is a smidge of what could be, it kind of puts a shadow on the reality. Joe Milton had a phenomenal Week 18 game against Buffalo's 3rd, 4th, and practice team. That's what people have a very hard time realizing. Oh, they're in the NFL. These are the excuses. These are the excuses.
But you could
they're in the NFL.
You can be in the NFL and suck.
You can be in the NFL by chance, by luck. My last name is Chance, by the way. You can be in the NFL by chance, by luck, by physicality. How many bums do you know that work a regular 9 to 5 that you look at them or see them and you're like, damn, I thought that you was a shit. Or damn, I thought that you was like gonna be something. Every Sunday, personally, I look at, I'm a washed up college athlete, football player. I've been there. D2. I've been there. I've seen the best. I went JUCO first. JUCO is where I've seen the best players ever. Why do you think that is? Because nobody really gives a fuck that much. I've seen the best athletes in my life play in JUCO. Then it gets a little competitive when you go to D2 and then you go to D3 and then whatever. Like, what are we talking about? We're talking about a 6th round pick that was taken after Shador Sanders was taken 9th overall or 10th overall, if I'm not mistaken. They're shuffling the board.
9.
Spencer Rattler was taken before Bazooka Joe, and now by the Saints, and the Saints took Shador.
Somebody from Ohio State just got taken, I believe. I can't fucking. They shuffled.
Yeah, they're shuffling. They're moving the board.
Oh, yeah.
But come on, what are we talking about?
Ibuka went 12 to Dallas.
Smart. That's a smart move in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Spencer Rattler was taken before Bazooka Joe last year by the New Orleans Saints.
He stinks.
And the New Orleans Saints in the first round of the next year's draft are potentially more than likely going to either trade up for or draft Shador Sanders, who is the same position. Come on, people.
Yep. It's just wake up.
Hello.
Wake up. Time to wake up.
Hello. Remember, we're millennials, right?
Yes, we are.
Remember that toy that was a box and you can press the button and it was it was almost as though there was something in the box.
The jacket.
Hello. Are you in there? It used to fucking shake and shit.
It's the Jack in the Box.
That's before our time. I'm talking about the new age Jack in the Box.
I didn't know about that.
Regardless, hey, listen, we'll go 3 generations. Jack in the fucking Box.
Which, by the way, there's no comparison, but we're talking about Jack in the Box. Overrated fast food joint, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. Stinks.
Dog shit.
Stinks. It's like eating fucking dog food.
# dog shit.
Jack in the Box is absolutely terrible. But regardless.
But we have another wide receiver off the board. So there were questions about our pick at wide receiver at 4. Now we have 3 wide receivers in the top 12.
We still have Will Campbell on the board at pick number 13.
And we still have Will Campbell at the board.
So it's not like another team was like, oh shit, the Patriots passed on Will Campbell.
We're dumb.
We have to go get him now. How stupid are these guys? No, Will Campbell.
I know how good. Trust me. I know the potential and the upside of Tet McMillan. I know how good Emeka Egbuka is. I would love for him to be a New England Patriot, which is.
You wouldn't even be mad.
It could possibly happen.
Yeah.
It could possibly occur. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if we're in a real life situation where we can trade back. We are still in the first round, and there are 3 wide receivers off the board, 1 offensive tackle.
I was even going to say
Shador, Kim Ward, with 2 quarterbacks. So we now the wide are there defensive linemen? I think wide receivers run the board.
Mason Graham got taken.
Mason Graham. Abdul Carter. So we're at 2. We're at 3 wide receivers right now, and we took the first one.
Could be 4 if you say Trav.
Potentially.
I'm just saying.
Potentially. I'll label him as an athlete because I firmly believe that Travis Hunter is a corner. Mm-hmm. And you add him to your offensive package, obviously, because it's very hard. It's much harder to obtain a lockdown corner than it is to obtain a legitimate NFL wide receiver. I would assume. If you disagree, please argue. Mm-hmm. But we're now through the first 13 picks in the NFL draft, mock draft 1.0. Mock draft 1.0 for What's Up Guy, the podcast, D Chance and Mike T. But I'm feeling confident, brother.
I like it.
No, Will Campbell's still on the board.
Campbell's still there at 13.
3 wide receivers are off the board. We took the first one with Matthew Golden, a 4.29 40.
And there was somebody in the background while we were
Laughing.
Let's see what Miami has. Who's Miami picking?
Who's Miami taking? Will Johnson.
Fix the secondary a little bit.
Yeah,
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson, I would assume so. Because of the
so
the Jalen Ramsey news.
13 picks. We are officially 13 picks in this mock draft.
And now, with what I would assume Will Johnson is getting taken off the board, guess what? Guess what the next position is that will be the number one...
Did they take Johnson? No.
Oh.
They took Barron.
Not bad.
From Texas.
Not bad. I mean, Barron is a dog. I love Barron.
So see, I mean, you still have Will Campbell.
Will Johnson is not falling this much.
You still have Will
That's
Johnson.
crazy.
You still have Calvin Banks, who people were clamoring for the Patriots to take it for too. So
now this is a Philadelphia Eagles mock draft.
But even still, it's not the Philadelphia Eagles picking.
I know, but like to take Barron over Will Johnson is nuts.
It's a Miami Dolphins fan.
This is probably an SEC team fan, though. There's no way Will Johnson, like you don't. Jalen Ramsey is getting traded.
Yeah.
You don't give up the opportunity to draft Will Johnson.
All I know is
they took Barron out of Texas, who was a dog. I just don't believe that.
All I know is we are. Look at all the guys that have been taken so far. Well, that got fucked up. But like Membu, McMillan, Sanders, Warren. Oh, we missed it.
Oh, I missed it.
We didn't hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so he fell out of the top 10. Excuse us. We apologize.
Will Campbell is not.
Will Campbell is not, but he went to the San Francisco 49ers at 11.
Absolutely, which is perfectly fine.
So what happens with this draft?
They still have Trent.
We've been going up and down. They've been kind of like cutting out of the top, so we can't really see the top. So they just kind of went back down to where everything was selected and showed all the picks again. So we apologize. We missed that, but it was only a pick off. Will Campbell went 11. So he fell out of the top 10. So you have Membu and Will Campbell now. You have Banks still there. So basically, it still validates the pick because you have two guys. So first of all, the Jets went Membu.
Chicago went tight end.
So at Chicago, which obviously needs an offensive line to protect that.
And they traded for Joe Tooney, who was obviously easily a Hall of Famer.
And they're trying to protect wherever the hell they have a quarterback there.
But you would assume that you would want a young lineman to be in the same meeting room as someone of the likes of Joe Tooney.
I think, and we're going to roll with a lot of football talk too, but I think Chicago's going to be drafting a quarterback very soon too.
You know,
that's a topic for another day.
I feel as though their backup, I forget his name.
We just had this discussion.
Yeah, we did have it very soon, but I feel as though he's a legitimate starter in the NFL.
Why can't I think of his name? We literally rattled it off the other day.
Excuse me, brief intermission.
Wow, and we even said this too.
This is like a real fucking...
It really is.
Chicago Bears.
They have Case Keenum now.
Quarterback.
Tyson
Bagent.
Hey, look at that.
His dad is like the best arm wrestler in the world. Mm-hmm. If you watch their Hard Knocks about 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken.
It was last season.
He is... No. Oh,
Chicago.
Yes. Because the Giants...
2 seasons.
The Giants were the
in-season. No, the Giants were the draft. Off-season, excuse me. The Lions were 2 years ago.
Yeah, Tyson Bagent is I believe he legitimate out of all the NFL franchises. So, this is what I don't understand. It's like One of my rants of the NFL is, okay, you got 30 teams. 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody puts all the marbles on the next quarterback in the next draft, right?
Yep.
But your team blows. Right? Your team blows. So why not try to acquire like the Browns, right? So this is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. I believe that within the next 5 seasons, in the hardest division of football, the Browns will somehow become relevant.
Good.
Because they acquired a backup quarterback who just came off of a Super Bowl win.
His team won the Super Bowl.
His team won the Super Bowl. He got a couple reps, but he's still behind Jalen Hurts. He's still behind. Fuck is the coach's name?
Philly.
Yeah,
Sirianni.
Sirianni. Thank you. He's underneath Sirianni.
Yeah.
Gets traded immediately because obviously Jalen Hurts isn't going nowhere. Boom. So he goes to Cleveland, right? He goes to Cleveland. Mind you, he's a first-round draft pick as a quarterback out of the University of Pittsburgh, right? And he got drafted to Pittsburgh. So
Colts are picking.
It's like it seems as though the Browns now really understand because they've re-signed Myles Garrett out of a pick out of a trade request. They just paid him the most. He's now the highest paid edge rusher. But it's like, okay, we need to build our team within, especially through the trenches, right? So the Browns could potentially be a example as to why you do that. Philly obviously is a reason.
Oh, they picked my dude.
Who?
Sorry. G.I. Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna take shorts in the draft, but it's like, you need to. The thing that I feel as though these teams and the general managers and the owners are realizing is like and I think that the test subject most recently is Bryce Young. We got a magician through his entire career at Alabama. And you throw him in at the time, the shittiest organization in all of football, in the Carolina Panthers. And then he tries to showcase his talent. You can't because his team sucks.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, maybe his sophomore year, you bench him, and then he comes back, and then it's like, oh, we kind of have some life.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, Bryce, I think Bryce Young, I mean, as a Bama fan, watching Bryce Young and watching Jalen Milroe, who's actually in this draft, really interested to see where he goes. I don't think highly of either one. And again, that's who am I get it. But I didn't like either one at Bama. I'm very happy that both, are not the quarterback at Bama anymore. I'm excited to see who's going to be. But I think and it touches on, like you said, with Bryce Young, I think you definitely are a product of your system coming out of college. And I get that Alabama and Nick, they were both under Nick Saban. Obviously, Milroe was under DeBoer this year. But I think it takes the system that you have in college is the product of what you become in the NFL. Just because of, look at Bama and look what they had around Bryce Young, and look what they had around Tua Tagovailoa. How the fuck you say his last name?
Brain mush.
Yeah. And look at the product you had when Jalen Hurts was there with Tua. And A.J. McCarron throwing it back there. Like, A.J. McCarron was sought out to be top 15, top 20 NFL quarterback.
He was legit. He was a legit backup quarterback, though.
He was, but he was a stud at Bama.
A national champion.
But he had studs around him. I believe he played with Julio.
Absolutely.
So, for guys to come out like Bryce Young and get put into systems as the Carolina Panthers, of course they're going to suck. Because they're used to guys in college being able to have the ability to make plays. And when you're thrown into a system with guys that can't make plays, you're going to suck. We just saw it with our beloved New England Patriots, with Mac Jones. The first year, he had a good system around him with Josh McDaniels, so obviously he had a little bit of success. But the offense, really, when you look at it, was dog shit.
The playoffs, they didn't do anything on offense.
And Nelson Aguilar not going up for that ball is still aggravate. It's going to aggravate me to the day I die. You know, I think it was Brandon Bolden dropping the floater out of the backfield, where it could have turned into a 20-yard gain, and it ended up in a punt. Like, it's the little things that worked at Bama, that worked at Georgia, that worked at LSU, or wherever they come out of. It's the small little things that work to develop them as a quarterback that when they don't work in the NFL, they're not used to the shit not working out. So that's why I look at, yes, the quarterback structure, the quarterback play in college is obviously important, but I look at what's around them. And the quarterbacks that can do more with less around them are the ones I kind of take a better look at versus all Bama quarterbacks, to be honest with you, and I'm a Bama fan. All Bama quarterbacks. And Jalen Miro is going to be terrible. He's going to be a bona fide backup.
Shit.
Who did the Falcons say?
I think Mike Green was on the board.
And Mike Green is a name that's shot up the draft boards too.
Absolutely.
So
rightfully so.
But
as it should.
And just to say, like, quarterbacks in general, this is why I liked Drake May. Reason number 4,222 why I like Drake May. Because he did what he did with nothing at North Carolina. And I don't want to hear it about Josh Downs. Josh Downs is a very, very good. He's a good wide receiver.
He's
but
okay.
He's not. But he's
There's
not.
a lot of people that don't know who the fuck he is.
True.
Josh Downs was elite at the University of North Carolina.
Because
he left.
Of Drake May.
He left, and just to rewind a little bit, Drake May committed to the University of Alabama,
and I'm glad he didn't
prior to decommitting and going to his home state, North Carolina Tar Heels.
I'm glad Drake didn't go to Bama because he would have been put in that position where he's used to shit happening. Drake made a Thanksgiving dinner out of nothing at North Carolina, and it shows because the Patriots were horrendous last year, dog shit, and he did what he did, and it's only up from here. Now he has Stephon Diggs. Now he has, in our draft, Matthew Golden. And the sky's the limit for this kid. So please surround him with talent. Please surround him with people that can not only help him, but help him get to that next level because he can't do it all on his own.
Drake May, after his freshman year at the University of Carolina, was a potential Heisman candidate, right?
Yeah.
Drake May could have made upwards of six figures if he wanted to, because I believe after his freshman year was the first year of the NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he comes from a very
athletic,
loyal and North Carolina Tar Heel driven family. Mm-hmm. His older brother is one of my favorite. I'm a Tar Heel basketball fan. His oldest brother is one of my favorite players ever, national champion. Mm-hmm. His mom has ties. She was one of the best high school women basketball players in the state of North Carolina. Mm-hmm. His dad as well. So the fact that his loyalty remains, just goes to, it shows who he is as an individual along with a professional. Mm-hmm. He obviously didn't need to. Granted, you know, I'm assuming his family is well off, but at the end of the day, he could have ventured off.
Of course,
he could. Like, we can talk about, you know, the Nico out of Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
You know, a potential first overall pick, 6'8", athletic, can throw the ball a country mile, but at a young age, allowing the money to be an issue already. Rightfully so. College players should be paid, but obviously there's a lot of variables in that case. But it shows the loyalty not only between the player but between the program.
Yeah.
The program moved on. The program started on Monday and they were removed and moved on by Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So to all the guys out there that could potentially be Nico's, it's like, hey, listen, you have the potential to, you're in the SEC, right? You have the potential to take over. Yeah. You have the potential to knock off Georgia. Yeah. You have the potential to knock off Bama. You have which you have already without Nico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've lost them.
So it's like, and it's like, okay, a 6'8" quarterback that is a potential Heisman candidate, potential Heisman winner. Yep. The last of that sort at that school was Peyton Manning. Okay. So, I won't say that. Let me not disrespect Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker. Who was a legitimate Heisman candidate, bearing his injury. But 6'8", I don't think he was 6'8", but more or less, Peyton Manning was 6'8" at the University of Tennessee. And let's be real here. You got a lot going for you if you are
6'3",
a freshman, potentially dominating the SEC and being a number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm. And then,
so let's give credit to Drake May for doing what he did with a legitimate pass catcher in Josh Downs, who's on the Indianapolis Colts right now. But who knows? I don't know. I mean,
there's a move.
I would love for the Patriots to, let's get that chemistry back. Mm-hmm. Let's see, because Drake obviously he went from a potential Heisman winner to, but still ended up being a number 3 overall pick. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a scout. I don't know. I don't have these conversations. I don't know what these people see or what I'm missing. I'm not sure what I'm missing. I see that he's a phenomenal player.
I think it would be nice and helpful to Drake if you do bring in somebody that has a rapport with.
Absolutely.
Granted, it from all the reports that we're hearing, and that he's become the leader basically in the locker room.
And it could be Amari Hampton.
You basically took what I was about to say.
Shit.
That's for both of us here. You have Amari Hampton in this draft, a running back from UNC that Drake May played with. You need a running back. I'm sorry, you do. Ramondre Stevenson, not it. Bye. See ya. Right out the door.
Especially in a deep running back class. Antonio, you need to pressure Ramondre.
Antonio Gibson is your solidified vet that can stay on the team and help out and obviously make some plays, but you need a
phenomenal blocking running
back. Need a playmaker in that backfield to take some pressure off Drake as well.
And now you have Josh McDaniels back. And you know that he's going to get the running back involved who can catch.
For people that are still out there and listening, James White, you need a James White because Tom Brady was successful in his latter years with the Patriots, and it had a lot to do with James White. And Mac Jones was successful in his first couple games with the Patriots because he had James White. If people remember Mac Jones' first game with the Patriots against the Dolphins in Foxborough, he threw a pass down that sideline that dropped it right in the bucket to James White. And you heard a certain person, and for whatever however you feel about him, he knows his shit. He played football. We're talking about Scott Zolak. He played football. He played quarterback in the NFL. He played for the New England Patriots. So he knows his shit. He said that after, you can find the clip. Go find it. I might try and find the clip and play it on the next show. He said that throw looks like somebody. That throw. Not Mac. The throw. The dropping in the bucket to James White on the sideline. He said right after, he goes, that looked like a throw from somebody you very well know. And we all know who he's talking about. So, my whole point about this whole thing is, yes, a quarterback has talent. He has his own gifts, as Drake May does. But he needs help. And he needs weapons. He needs people to help him out to take him to that next level. Like Tom Brady had James White. Drake May needs somebody like that. And hopefully the Patriots can address it within the draft or however. But there's a deep running back draft. I took Jackson. So my whole thing for this draft is to help your quarterback, because you did everything you needed to do on defense in the offseason. You can still add on defense later in the draft. As you said, you've said it for a while now. Your first, your first two out of your first 3 picks should be helping Drake. Because I would really like if we tried to go after Jack Sawyer in the second round. But if he's not there, it should be helping Drake May.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In his sophomore season, which is the most critical season for an NFL quarterback.
Absolutely. And I believe that that's the case because of Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I believe that stigma has occurred because Peyton Manning had such a shitty fresh rookie year.
Yeah. I think he threw the most picks for an NFL rookie. Ever. And it's never ever been touched.
No.
So
so we have at the number 17 overall pick, we got Nolan out of Mississippi, D lineman. So
now we're getting to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So we were going back and forth. I had to convince Mike. We took Golden at number 4. I had to convince him to take Golden,
which
he wanted to go.
Who I wanted to go with is still out there.
He hasn't been taken yet.
So that should show something too.
Who is a Georgia dog? Shout out, go Dogs. But the way that this mock draft, and obviously this is a mock draft between, not only is run by Eagles fans, but we don't have representatives from all 32 teams.
No.
There's a legitimate. There's about 6,000 people tuned in.
Yeah, 6.4K.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I would assume out of the 6,000 people, they really understand where we went at the number 4 position with no trades being acquired.
Some did. Some, obviously, the guys on the pod were really
look, it's
shocked when we made that pick.
Now we're up to 6,500 people. And granted, if majority of these people are from Philly, whatever, they're gonna look at us. They're gonna look at number 4 and be like, "What?" And then look at the draft and be like, "What?"
We shook up the draft.
Yeah.
We took a player. We didn't shake it up just to shake things up. We didn't shake it up just to be assholes and be like, we're going to screw this thing up. We shook it up because we took the pick with the player of need in a position of dire need on this team at wide receiver, and with also the thought of we wouldn't be taking this player at 4.
For sure.
We'd be taking them. We would trade back, get some assets, and take them a little bit later.
I'll go as far to say as every player that is after
doesn't go any further.
I would go as far as to say every player that had if we were to trade outside of the number 4 pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based off of the way that this draft has went, I am fully content into trading back into the 20s. because we are now at pick. We're waiting for pick 18. And because we took Golden at number 4 with in a draft that no trades are, we've I don't know how many times we've stated that thus far, but
needs to be stated.
If we're talking about a draft that is just going to be outright based off of the move that we made at number 4 and the trajectory of the draft thus far, I am more than content with the Patriots trading back and acquiring assets of the exponential definition.
And we even made it clear to the guys when we were taking the pick that this pick is solely based on us trading back, and we're not picking this guy at 4. We're picking this guy a little bit later in the first round because we would find a trade partner, but obviously we can't do it here. But we'd find one that we could stack picks, acquire assets, and get Golden a little bit later and stack for the second round. And who knows? Maybe you trade back into the first round.
With the players that have been drafted thus far, and the ability for and like everything that we've seen transpire thus far, with the Patriots, I would assume trading out of the number 4 pick, we can be very relevant over the course of the next couple of years, based off of the picks that are being chosen, again, by Talkin 215, that don't, picking for the teams that don't have a representative, and based off of the teams that do have a representative, and obviously we took a pick that more than likely won't be chosen at number 4.
No.
But are we the reason why the draft board has went thus far?
I think so.
I would assume so. I think that there is a legitimate argument. I mean, it's phenomenal. Honestly, I'm very proud of the pick. I'm very proud of. Now, I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen on Thursday. You're going to have to tune in to our live draft show on Thursday at Public Tavern. But I feel good about this mock draft, man. I mean, this is 1.0. We're probably going to have a.
We will.
We're going to have a
before Thursday
a mock draft 2.0.
Yep, we'll be live this week before Thursday to do our mock draft with just me and Derek, going right through and trying to figure out what the Patriots are going to do here, and what we think they should do and what they could do later on. What we'll do is, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but there's an app that you're allowed to draft your team on, basically. So we'll just fire that up. You're able to make trades. So it's the app that they're using, but you're not going to obviously make trades. But we'll make trades.
It's AI generated.
So it's an AI generated draft. We'll be live. We'll be doing that live. We'll come to an agreement on where we want to go and how we want to finagle the trades.
We'll be using like the amount of time that we would
have
if
to make the pick.
We were in the draft room.
And then we'll trade. If we trade back, we'll trade back and select the player that we want at that pick. We'll all be live, and then we'll react to it after. That will be this week, before Thursday, and then, like you've already plugged, but Thursday night, we'll be live in person, on location. Our first on location show is that Gillette Stadium one wasn't the way we really wanted it to go because of the fucking rain.
7,000 viewers now.
Yeah,
on this mock draft.
But
so they're definitely gonna be talking about us.
We'll be live from Public Tavern in Somerville. Come join us. Come say what's up, guy. We'll be broadcasting the entire first round. We'll be live. And we'll have live reaction to all picks. The Patriots pick, obviously, we'll have come be on the show.
Or moves.
Moves, yeah. They do trade back. We'll have live reaction. Come be a part of the show. We're going to be there until the end of the first round. Come talk with us. Chop it up with us. Tell us why you don't like the pick. Tell us why you do like the pick. Tell us what you think. Just come on by, have a good time, have some drinks. It's a fun place.
Phenomenal bar.
And shout out, thank you, Public Tavern, for having us there on Thursday. It's definitely going to be a blast. It's going to be a night. I can't wait.
Same owners as Premier. Very
whole
close friend, Corinne. Can't thank you guys enough for allowing us to embark on this new journey and being a part of it. We will be live there. We will be selling merch. We will be.
We'll have a little station set up for.
There's a trivia night as well. That's the tavern's trivia night as well. So we're going to be interacting with fans that are there and people that just show up.
Just go see us there.
Football. Yeah. More than likely, Patriots related trivia questions. Just to be part embark on this journey. But
come chop it up with us Thursday night. Somerville Public Tavern will be there. We'll let you know when we'll be there. But we'll definitely obviously be there when the draft kicks off. But I think we can put a cut into this one right now. Sure. So this draft has got they're doing the whole first round, and we're only at pick. We haven't even picked. So Will Johnson
just went to Tampa
at 19. We got 20. They're kind of dragging on, and we don't want to.
Yeah, we got another show coming up soon.
A little bit.
A little brief intermission with the for the C's, but again, like, subscribe, YouTube. What's up, guy? Rolling.
Donate Team Drake May.
Hell yeah.
The link is in our bio. Go hit Best Buddies for the Best Buddies Challenge. Derek and I are doing it next month, next May. This May, end of next May. So donate there if you can. Anything you can. $5, $10. Who cares?
Jalen Walker is now.
Jalen Walker's still on the board. He's
still on the board.
Calvin Banks, Michael Williams, Shamar
Stewart,
Stewart, Colston Loveland. Like, there's a lot of good players still on this board. So we shook this draft up. We roll it. So Matthew Golden, according to us, welcome to New England. Welcome to Drake May. And
welcome to What's Up Guy.
Welcome to
Mock
What's Up
Draft
Guy
1.0.
So we'll roll 2.0 a little bit later, but we'll see y'all in a little bit. We'll be on for the Celtics playoff preview.
Holla.